In this video, I'm going to show you how to set up your sales page in Podia so it goes from looking like this to this. Much better, right? This actually makes people want to buy your product. Hey, I'm Brandy, and if we haven't met before, I help people with course creation, YouTube, and nerdy tech videos. So before we get started, if you haven't signed up for Podia already, you can do that by going to podia.com or jump into the description, and my affiliate link is down below. And you don't need to use my affiliate link, but my channel receives a small commission if you do, so it helps support the channel. All right, before you're ready to set up your sales page, you actually have to go set up your course or your ebook or whatever it is that you're selling first. So go check out one of these two videos if you haven't already done that, and set up your course, at least just like one little tiny thing inside of your course, so it will let you set up the sales page. And in this video, we're going to put in your logo, we're going to put in your fonts, your brand colors, all that good stuff that makes your sales page look really pretty, and it's going to look so much nicer by the time you're done this video. All right, let's go into my computer and I'll show you how to do this. Welcome to my computer. So we're going to go through and we are going to make a sales page that basically looks like this one here. This sales page is created on my Squarespace website. We're going to basically duplicate it onto my Podia site so you can see exactly how to do that. And as you can see, this is for a YouTube course. So for this site, we need a couple of things. Obviously, we need our sales page editor in Podia. We need canva.com for some of the designs in here. And Canva does have a free version of it, so you can just sign up at canva.com. It's a free model, or you can sign up for a 30-day free pro version. And I do tend to use a lot of the pro features. I do think it's a good investment, but if you just want to use the free version, that is totally fine. So before actually going in and diving into your Podia website, what I want you to do is just stop, and I always like to pull up a sticky note for my computer, or you can have like an open Word document or something like that. And you just want to write down the colors that you're going to use, the fonts that you're going to use, and the URL of your Podia sales page. And this is going to make your life so much easier as we're going through this tutorial. So just pause, take a minute and do this. So for my colors for the sales page, I'm going to go into Canva, which is the design software, and I'm going to go into Brand Kit here. And I've got all my logos, as you guys can see, and I also have some brand colors. These are the colors for my YouTube course, so I'm going to use these colors for my sales page. And if I just click on this here, like this pretty rose color, it pops up with this code here. I think it's called a hex code, but I could be wrong. I am not a designer. So I'm just gonna copy this over to my sticky note, and I'm just making a note of what color it is. So rose, and then the code. All right, so those are the colors that I'm going to use. So the rose, the wine, the powder pink, beige, and black. So I have all the codes for that. For my fonts, I usually use these ones. So I'm gonna say, I'm gonna actually use Poppins for my body. And I'm going to use I think it's called Play Script. And it's just like a really pretty handwritten font. Okay, and then the last thing that I need is my URL for the sales page. And so I'm just gonna go into my Podia dashboard. So when you log into Podia, you are going to come here and you want to go into products, and you should already have your product set up in order to make the sales page. So let's go into products, and I'm gonna go down into YouTube Made Simple because that's the one we're making a sales page for in this video. I'm gonna click on edit and settings, and then this is the sales page URL for this individual course, okay? So my Podia website is actually brandydudas.podia.com without anything after it, and then this individual sales page is /YouTube Made Simple. So I'm gonna copy that YouTube Made Simple because we're going to be using it a lot on the sales page. There we go. That is our URL. A little trick here is that if you put /by after this URL, what this does, I'll show you, because if you just click on this, brandydudas.podia.com /YouTube Made Simple, this is what it will take you to, the sales page. But if you put by after it, so /by, copy that, and I'm going to open that in a new window. What happens is the checkout form pops up. Okay, so we're gonna use that little trick a lot on our buttons and our sales page. So that's why I have that handy, so we can use it all over our sales page when we need it. So I'm gonna put HTTPS like that in front of it. Okay, so now I think we're ready. And I'm just gonna make sure that this works as well before I start putting it all over my sales page. Great, okay, so that works. I'm gonna close this and we're gonna go in and start editing our sales page. There's two ways to get to the Podia site editor. If you are already in your course or your ebook or whatever it is, you're gonna wanna click here, visit the site editor, to be able to edit your site just like it says. You could also, if you're in the dashboard, like when you just first log in, you can go edit site and it will take you to the same page. All right, so this is the Podia site editor. And so as you can see, it has taken me to the home page. And so there's two main areas that you're gonna be wanting to be focused on in your Podia site. Number one, the home page, and number two, the sales page. Everything else is kind of gravy. So you can put in blogs, you can put in extra pages if you want, and all of these pages are done the same way. But the two main pages you're gonna wanna edit are the home page and the sales page. And the reason for this is even if I just send people to my sales page, so this is my Podia sales page for YouTube Made Simple right now. We have not edited it yet, so it doesn't look very good. But if they click on my logo here, it will actually take them to the Podia homepage for my site. So brandydudas.podia.com. So I do want to make sure that this looks fairly nice because I do know that people, if they click on it, they will get to my Podia site. Okay. So just keep that in mind. All right. So when you're on the site editor, as you can see, you've got all your pages listed. So you've got your home page and then your products. Your products are your sales pages for your courses or for your ebooks or whatever it is. We're going to be editing this one, YouTube Made Simple, the sales page, and I'm going to walk you through doing this. Before you've done anything, you're going to see that you've got a product up here. Like this is how they actually buy the course or the ebook. And then down below, it's a table of contents about what's included. This is not very good sales page. Like nobody's going to buy my product just from this. And so this is where we want to update things. Okay. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to update my logo, my colors, my fonts, all of that kind of stuff, just to make the process a little bit easier as we're going through. And the first time you arrive on here, I'm going to guess that you have Podia colors. So you probably have purples and things like that. And those are probably not your brand colors. So let's go in and we're going to change those. Okay. So for brand color, I'm going to choose, it's slightly different, but I'm going to choose the rose color that I grabbed from Canva. There we go. And I'm just going to click back and it solidifies it there. For background, I'm going to choose, I could choose either the powder pink or the beige. Maybe I'll do the powder pink. There we go. For headings, I'm going to choose that wine color, which I think is already in there. Possibly. Yep, that's the one. For text, I'm going to choose black. For the buttons, I am going to pick, I think I'm going to pick wine. There we go. And you can always change these after. It's no problem at all. And then for the button text, I might just pick a white color. So do white. And then we'll see how it looks. If it doesn't look good, we can just obviously change it after. It's no big deal. Okay, so those are my colors that I've put in so far. For fonts, I'm going to put, for the typeface headings, I'm going to choose, actually that one's nice. I'm going to choose Play for Display. And then for the typeface, I already have Poppins in here, but if you want to change it, you can just go in and change your font. And so then there's 3 columns of fonts that you can go through and change. And I think Poppins is a fairly popular one right now, so I'm just going to keep it like that. If you want to change your logo, which is this, you're going to click on this edit button right here, which looks like a pen, and your logo is up at the top. And so if you don't have anything there, this is what it's going to kind of show up as. So it's going to say like choose file or drag here. And so you can put in your logo right there and then it will change it for you. And so I've got mine as like the default up here. And you can also change the design of how it looks. Okay. So for my logo, I'm going to go click in here and go find my logo files. So I've got my logos here, and I want this to look fairly similar to my Squarespace site. So I'm going to pick my this black logo here and then have this pink background. All right, so that looks good. I'm going to close out of here, the header. But if you want to go and change your header, you can. So you can change the however you want it to look, and you can completely customize it by choosing this raindrop here. And you can go in and change the background to any color you like, or you can use the hex code, which are the ones that we wrote down on here on the sticky note. So I'm just going to keep it like as a default because I think that looks pretty good. I'm going to close out of it. Okay. I kind of like to start with a blank slate. So I usually just clear out everything on the sales page and then start from scratch. So what you can do is you can just choose this trash can icon here, and that will delete the section. And then this one we could delete as well. There is a glitch in Podia right now, so I'm actually going to leave this section. And the glitch right now, they've told me that it will be fixed in a week. So if you're watching this video in 1 week, I think it'll be better. But the way that you normally add sections into Podia is you click on these little plus buttons here. The glitch is that if you click on the plus button at the very bottom of the page, which is this one here, if I do that and then I choose to add, say, some text in as a text section, what it's going to do is it's instead of putting it down below where it's supposed to, it pops it to the very top of the page, which is kind of annoying. So what we're going to do, we're going to get rid of this, is we're just going to leave this bottom section here until we're completely done our page, and then we're going to delete it. Again, as I said, if you're watching this like a week from now when I'm posting it, it should be fine. Okay, they're working on fixing this. Okay, so now to add a section, what you're going to want to do is you are going to want to click on this little plus sign here. And it's going to bring up these options for a new section. So the product banner and the table of contents, this is the table of contents right here. And the product banner was the one that was just up on the screen. The sections that I most commonly use are the text section, image section, video section. A couple of more specific sections would be FAQs, testimonials, categories I don't really use, but FAQs and testimonials definitely. And the big thing when you are editing your sales pages, don't be afraid to click on one of these and see what it looks like. So for example, now you can see what the FAQ section looks like. And if you don't like it, you can always just delete it, but you can go in and play around with the settings in it as well. So let's go in and start making our sales page. So again, I'm going to make mine very similar to the Squarespace sales page that I have created already. And so I'm going to want to create a section that has this text and it's centered in the middle of the screen, as you can see. So I'm actually going to go and I am going to, we've clicked plus, and now I'm going to actually add either a video or an image. And the reason I'm adding a video or an image section is this is very strange, and I've asked Podia to change this. So possibly this will be changed by the time you are seeing this if you're watching this a few months down the road. But in the text area, if I go into, there's a section for the content where I can put in what I want to say. And then there's also a section for the design. If I go into the design, there's no option to center my text on the screen, which is very strange to me. So I'm going to delete this. But if I add in a video or an image, either one of these sections here, I can choose, if I go into the design section, I can choose if I want the video here on the left-hand side, if I want it on the right, or if I want it centered. And you'll notice I don't actually have a video in here, but I can still have the text centered. So if you want to do anything where your text is centered, either choose the video or the image option. Okay, so let's go into content. And so for my heading, I'm going to choose, all right, so that is my heading. So newsflash, you don't need a cajillion subscribers to make money on YouTube and make an impact, something like that. All right. And then my text below it, the smaller text is more like a paragraph, is this here. There we go. So as you can see, so that section looks nice and it's all very nice and centered. And again, you can go into design and choose if you want this changed you can change it like that, okay? So like right now it is in the center, that looks great. As you can see, this has a pink background behind it. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the background under design. Under the design tab, it already has these default themes picked out for you. So that one, using the colors that we put in up here earlier. Okay, if you want to customize it completely, which is what I usually do, I go into this custom theme option, and then you can change the background to whatever color you want, okay? And this is where it's really handy to have your sticky note handy with the color codes of the colors you want to use on your sales page. All right, so I'm looking at my sticky note, and I want this rose color behind because I wanted that pink color. So I'm gonna go into design, background, click on that, and just paste in my rose color there. So that looks pretty nice. So I've got the kind of the wine color text with the pink background, and then this is black. So I quite like the look of that. And my branding is very pink. You do not need to have pink branding to do a sales page on Podia. It can be whatever color you want. But that looks pretty similar to my Squarespace site now. And the other thing I can do is if I do want a video, which I mean, this is a YouTube course, so obviously I'm a YouTuber, I like videos. It's probably a good idea to have some sort of a video up here at the top of my sales page. And videos, they're great for sales pages. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna show you how to put in a video if you wanted to do that. So I could just go and if I had a video already recorded, and of course I have a million videos on my computer already, I'm going to choose this video here, 3 ways to monetize a YouTube video. This is not going to live on my sales page, but just to show you guys what this will look like. So I'm just going to drop it in here. If you want to have a very specific thumbnail for your video, you can choose it here. And I'm just going to go find the thumbnail for this video that I created for YouTube. Hey, Future Brandy here. So I'm just editing this video and I didn't really explain what happened. So what I did is I uploaded the video. I waited until it like completely processed. I clicked away to do like the rest of my sales page. And then when I ended up going back up to the top of the page, it was there. It just took kind of a while in the background. So just upload your video and then wait till it like uploads completely into Podia. And then you're free to go and work on the rest of your sales page. And I think after like 10 minutes, it'll show up there for you. I was just super impatient and waiting for it to come up right away. The other thing you can do in the video section is add a button. And so if we wanted to add in our like little link to buy this course right here, we could put in a button and it could say something like, yes, I want to enroll in YouTube Made Simple or something along those lines. And then the link is going to be, if I scroll down here on my sticky note, it's going to be this brandydudas.podia.com/course name /buy. And if I put that in, that will allow it that when this is published, it's going to come up, and when I click on it, it will come out with the checkout option. Okay, so let's go on to the next section. So the next section, as you can see, it's text. It is aligned to the left. It's got a button below it, and then it has the background color of like that light powder pink. Okay, so for this, because our text is aligned left, we can actually use the text section option in Podia. So I'm just going to copy this text that we want to put in there. And I'm going to click add, and I'm going to click the text option. And I've added this in. And if we go back to my Squarespace site, as you can see, there's no header at the top, and these are quite close together. So it's like a normal paragraph. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of this header here by just deleting it. And then I am going to just get rid of some of the spaces in between these things here. Okay, so that is how that looks. Perfect. So the next thing I want to do is I want to add in my button at the bottom. And then again, our button link is going to be the link that we put on our sticky note over here. And so I'm just going to copy it in there. And then go down to the bottom, make sure it's there. Yes, it is there. Perfect. And then I'm going to go into the design section, and we want to make this like that powder pink color. So I'm going to put there, and it's actually showing up as the button with this brick color. So I'm going to change that because I wanted it either more of like a wine color or even that rose color. So let's see how it looks with rose. All right, so that is a little bit too, like, it looks too similar. So either I need the text to stand out a little bit more, or I need to change the color of the button. I think I'm going to change the color of the button to this wine color. So let's change that. There we go, that looks better. And so here, this button is actually on the left-hand side, as you can see. And so if we wanted this button to be in the center, I'm gonna actually have to make another section because like I said, so for the section, I can either make the whole thing centered with the text and the button, or this button needs to be in another section. So if I wanna do that, what I can do is I can add another section. I'm gonna choose either image or video because those two allow me to put things in the center. So I'm going to choose image, but we're not going to put anything in there. I'm going to put design, put it to the center. So whatever I put in that area is going to be in the center. I'm going to come back. I'm going to change this to be the same formatting as this section above. So they look very similar. And then I'm going to come back to content. I'm going to delete the heading and the text. And I'm going to add in the button text that is here. So yes, enroll me in YouTube Made Simple. And then the button link is going to be this URL here. Okay, so now it's another section, but the problem is now we have two buttons and that looks a little bit strange. So come back and click back into this section here and get rid of the button text and the button link down below. So delete, delete, and now it looks all like one section, as you can see. Okay, so now we've got this at the top, and then we have this. All right, as you can see, my video is not loading. I'm not sure what's going on. If you ever have a problem with anything like this, like if you're getting a glitch like this, it should be coming up, showing up. Go into the chat here, ask them to help you, just tell them the problem, and they're very, very good at helping you figure out what the problem is. And even I have had them go in and put videos in for me when they don't show up for me personally when I'm trying to upload them. Okay, so now I've got my video section with my video not showing up, but my text section here, and then my button. And so let's go see what's next. All right, so this one here is a picture on this side, obviously, and then I've got some text. So I'm going to choose the image section. And as you can see from the Squarespace site, I've got my image on the right-hand side and then the text on the left. So I'm going to do the same thing in Podia. Now these photos that I have are actually from a professional photographer, so the file size is quite big, and the problem I was encountering is when I tried to upload them directly from just like the file that I had into Podia, the file was just too big for Podia. So what I did is I uploaded it into Canva, and then I just downloaded the file, and that seems to work if I do that. So I'm going to just download from Canva, just this one page, as a PNG file. And of course, just make note of where you're saving it to so it's easy to get for Podia. For mine, they always just download here, so I can just drag them back up, which is very easy. There we go. So I've got the image on this side, and so now I want to change the language over here. So this is going to be the heading, so it's the bigger font. And then I'm going to have this section, which is all of the text. The main text. All right, I'm gonna go into design. And as you can see on this one, the background of this is that rose pink. And so I'm gonna change that. I'm gonna go into this like water drop or color drop. If anyone knows what that is, let me know what this is supposed to represent. And find that rose color. And we'll go background. There we go. Okay, it looks a little bit strange right now. I think it's because I've got this design pane open. So I'm just gonna close this and see how it looks. That looks much better. Okay, so let's do our next section. Okay, so for this section here, obviously we've got some text here. So this would be the header. This would be like the main text. And then this is a background picture, which is really pretty. And I actually didn't personally put this into Squarespace. So I'm gonna show you how to do something very similar on Podia though. Okay, so let's go and we're gonna choose a section. And because we want this centered, we're gonna choose either, again, the video or the image section. So click the plus button. Oh, where'd it go? There we go. And let's choose image. I don't think it really matters. And I'm gonna put in the text first. So this is gonna be the heading. And we're down here. And then this is going to be the main text or the main body. And this came in very funny, so I'm just gonna fix it here. And we will play with how this looks. Oh no. This is in the middle, obviously it's centered. So we're going to go over to design and I'm gonna choose the center. And now we're gonna choose, what we're gonna do is we're gonna choose a background image. So I'm gonna go over to Canva again. And what I'm gonna do is create a design and I'm gonna see if there's like a website. Oh, this one's probably good. There we go. So I just picked website and Canva has all these preset dimensions for you. So they've got Instagram, they've got Facebook ads, Facebook stories, whatever you want. But it has all of these predetermined dimensions for your designs. So I'm going to choose that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to search in their photos for like pink flowers or something along those lines. So that could be really pretty on my site. And I'm just looking for something that would go with the theme of my site. This one's really nice. I think that probably is the winner because I think this is the one that I want. Oh, and this is actually a free design. So Canva, as I said, has 2 levels. They have the free and the pro. I think the pro is well worth, I think it's like $16 or $17 a month. Totally worth it if you do a lot of website stuff. All right, so I'm going to download it. So instead of saying publish as a website, which I'm not sure where that would go, I'm going to click download, PNG and download. And I'm just going to save it, make note of where it is getting saved to, and then come back over to Podia. And what you're going to do is you're going to drag your file that you've just downloaded into background image. There we go. It's come up and it's in grayscale, which actually kind of looks cool. But because we want it to look more like this, what we're going to do is we are going to play with these things here. All right. And like I said, you can always undo it. So just play around with it until you're happy. So grayscale, I think I'm going to bring it all the way down. So it's got some color. Contrast. And again, I'm not a designer, so I don't know what a lot of these things mean. So I just play with them until it looks nice. Oh, there we go. That looks a bit better. And maybe blur it a tiny bit. There we go. And then as you notice, when we looked at this one, this is all in white. And so I'm going to actually, and it looks like there's a little bit of grayscale on that one. So let's do that. And let's go in here and we are going to choose for the text. We're going to make this white. So I'm just going to bring it all the way up there. And I think I need to also put the heading as white. I'm going to go back into design and I think I need to play with this a little bit more. There we go. so the words pop out a little bit more. There we go. Okay, so something like that. It does not have to look exactly like this, but you get the idea that you can put a background image behind your text or behind another photo or anything you want. You'll get this really pretty image behind whatever the section is. Okay, so now for this area here, we've got a heading that's in the center, and then we actually have text that is left aligned. So I would put this in as two separate text sections. The first section is just going to be our heading, and it's going to be either a video or an image, so we can center it. So I'm going to choose this as heading, and then I'm not going to have any text here. So I'm going to get rid of it and go over to design and put it to the center. Okay. And as you can see, this is got the background of like that pale pink. And then I'm going to add in another section of text. And for this one, it is going to be left aligned. So everything is lining up on this side here. So you can see these are here. I might want to get rid of the spaces in between. See how this looks. And you can choose how you want it to look. If you want the spaces in between, I think it actually looked better before. So I'm going to put those back. There we go. And I'm going to get rid of this heading because this is going to act as the heading for this section. I'm going to go over to design and I'm going to click again this one here so that the color kind of flows through. Close this. And so that is how it's going to look. The downside of this, of course, is that they're not as close together, and hopefully in a month or two, Podia will update it so that we can have these things like the text one centered if we want to, and it'll be a little bit more fluid with the design on them, but this is pretty good for now. Okay, and so now it's like, okay, these are all the pain points. Like I know you're struggling to get traffic. I know you're struggling to get people to your website. I have been there. I know that this is what you're looking for. And so now I'm introducing my course to you. So I'm like kind of talking about their pain points up top. And then down below is where I actually talk about my course, which is the solution to the problems that my clients are having. Okay, so now looking at the next part here, we've obviously got some text, a heading, some more text, and then we have this picture, which I have created in Canva. All right. And so this section here, we could do this a couple different ways. Okay. So I could just have like a text section here, like with the text centered in the middle of the page. And then I could have a header with some text and a picture. So it could be broken down into two different sections. This section could be an image section with just the introducing in the center. And then we could have a separate section of an image section, header, text, YouTube made simple. Okay. The other way we could do this is this introducing YouTube made simple. We could make this its own section and we could make it in Canva because usually, as you know, the header is the bigger point here. All right, so we are going to make this section here, and instead of doing it just like the text and then the heading and then the text, I'm actually going to make these two things into a image in Canva. You definitely don't have to. You could just put this in as a text section, or sorry, an image section, putting the text in so it's centered, and then putting in the header here and another section with the image. The reason I'm going to do this is mainly just to show you how to do this in Canva if you wanted to insert any sort of image or different fonts into your sales page. So let's go into Canva. All right. And so for this section here, because I'm going to be putting this section into an image, I'm going to want this pretty thin, like very thin this way, lengthwise, and then the width to be longer, obviously. So I think this is too boxy. So I want basically like half of this size. So what I can do is I can go to resize and just look at the dimensions. So this is 1350. That's the width. And then the height is 650. So I'm just going to do 1350 by about 300 or 325 as a new design. So I'm going to go create design and custom size 1350 by, let's do 325, half of the width that we had before. Create design. So now you can see this is really skinny. Okay, so I am going to add in some text. And we want Poppins text for our, and I think this is Poppins. Yeah, let's just change it to regular Poppins. I don't know if there's a difference. Bold, light, medium. Let's do medium. We go and we'll go introducing. And move this. And again, if you don't have Canva yet, you need to get your hands on it, start using it because it is pretty amazing. And we're going to get rid of those. And then I'm going to want to change this. So I'm going to make this into actually a script font to make it look a little bit nicer. I'm going to look for handwriting kind of text. So you can choose to search for different handwriting or calligraphy. I'm going to choose to look for script fonts. And again, keep in mind that Brandy is not a designer, so. And then we grab this. Okay, so there we go. I could just leave this as regular heading or font. That would be fine as well. I just wanted to show you this. Okay, so if you have the pro version of Canva, what you can do is you can download this as with a transparent background, and I'm going to show you what this does. If you don't have the pro version, I'm going to show you the other way in just a second, okay? So if you have transparent background for Canva Pro, download it just like that. And so now I'm going to insert this. I'm going to choose the image option. I'm going to drag this in and put it in the middle, okay? And then I'm going to get rid of the text, the heading text and the regular text. And so now we've just got this like image that I've made in Canva. It's text, but it is an image that we've inserted in here. Because I have made this a transparent background, I can go over here and I can choose the background to be whatever I want. So for example, if I wanted to make it any color I want, it is going to change it behind it because this is a transparent background. I could even, if I wanted to, put a picture behind it. So I could go background image, and let's see if one of these is that pretty picture of the reeds. Oh, that's my picture. So if I wanted to have a picture behind this, I could do that as well. So it would look really cool. I'm gonna just get rid of this. If you don't have Canva Pro, the other option for this is because we want this background to be that rose color, what I'm going to do is I'm going to first make the background in Podia the rose color. So I'm going to grab that color code from my sticky note, change that. But if you don't have Canva Pro, so if you can't do the transparent background, what you can do is, I just have to find my design again. Here we go. What you can do is you can choose, like just click on the background here somewhere on the outside of the picture. And then I'm going to click on this button here. This is the background color. And I'm going to put the color code right in here. Okay. And so this is the same color code as what I've just searched. There we go. And then I'm going to download it with the pink background. Okay. Coming back into Podia, I'm going to get rid of this one here, the transparent background, and I'm going to put in the regular background, the pink background. And as you can see, the pink background, because I've chosen the background color in here to be the same as the background color in my Canva image, they look it looks the same. It's seamless, right? Like it looks really nice. But if I changed it, the background now, to something else, you can see that like it really stands out, the fact that this is another color. Okay, so that's kind of a workaround with if you don't have Canva Pro for the transparent design, is just make sure that the background you're using for your Canva image is the same as the background color you're using here in Podia. There we go. That looks pretty good. All right, so the next section, as you can see, so we have introducing YouTube Made Simple. And so this is what we're gonna do now is we're going to put in this image here from Canva, and we are going to put in this text here. And so what we can do is we can choose an image section in Podia, and we will just put like no header. We're just going to put some text and then an image. So my course helps you ditch the overwhelm, level up your business strategy, and start getting traffic to your website on autopilot. So that is my promise about my course. Okay, so for design, I'm going to center it, of course, and then I am going to put this in as an image here. You could, so in theory, you can put this as a background image if you wanted to, and just have it as its own section if you wanted. The weird thing is though, it doesn't look as good when you look at this on mobile. So I would suggest just putting it into here in the content area to put the image here. And it is going to be in the middle, so it doesn't look like as perfect, but it does the job. And I have already made this before, so I'm going to go into my Canva and I'm going to search for it. I've got a lot of things. Oh, there it is. And there we go. That's the one that I want. And as you can see, this one has a kind of a pink background. I think that's the one I'm going to use. It's a little bit less harsh than a white background. And if you guys want me to do a video about how to make like a flat lay like this, I am happy to do that because I think it looks really nice for the purposes of sales pages and even on social media. So I'm going to download, and I just want to download page 4. So just that one there. If I download them all at the same time, it puts it into a zip file and then I have to go extract it. So I just find it's easier just to download the one page that I need at a time. Okay, coming back to Podia, I'm going to put this in. Perfect. And then I want this section to have the same background as this one here so that it looks consistent throughout. So it looks like it's one section. So under the design tab, I'm going to go into grab my rose color from my sticky note. Going to click on custom theme, background, and put in my hex code. There we go. So now it looks like all one section here. All right, so now I'm going into what is included. Okay, so here's what's included. And so I go into like what is in each of the modules. So you're getting into, you don't want to go into like the table of contents, like, so for example, if I look at the table of contents that Podia like puts as a default onto your sales page, this is not how you sell a course. Like telling them that you get all these individual lessons with videos, that is not how you sell a course. Selling a course is more talking about the results that they're going to get from each module. This is the nitty-gritty work that they're going to have to do to get those results, which is not as exciting for the customer wanting to buy this thing. So we want to talk about the results that they're going to get. So almost everyone that I know that starts a YouTube channel, if they're starting it with purpose, like if they're taking a course to start a YouTube channel, I'm going to pretty much guarantee that they want to monetize it. So module 1, we get into monetization. Module 2, we set up your channel. Module 3, we go in and film your video. And then module 4 is like, let's get nerdy, which is very much my speak. That's just the way I talk. I'm very casual like that. It's just about all the systems that you need to not drive yourself crazy on YouTube. Let's put in here's what's included as a header, and then we're going to put in these individual sections by themselves. So again, going up to the top, just below this image, we are going to select an image section just to put in the here's what's included. Going to get rid of the text. And for the design, I'm going to go what's in the middle. And I could choose, if I wanted to do maybe like white background, but then, oh, it's got the red color. So it's got like that wine color for the header, which looks really nice. Okay, so now I'm going to go into doing these individual sections. So I'm going to choose the add section. Okay, so we're going to do an image section. Mod 1 monetization, we're going to put as our heading, and then this is going to be our text. And then we're going to have to go find this image. And again, this image is made in Podia. And if you guys want me to do a tutorial on that, just let me know in the comments and I'm happy to do that. All right, so this one here, I'm just choosing page 1 to download. Come back over and we are going to insert the image. There we go. So mod 1, monetization. Mod 2, set up your channel. So again, I'm going to do an image section, adding it in here. And then I'm going to come over to design because I want this to be offset. So I'm going to have mod 1, the image on the left, and then I'm going to have mod 2, the image on the right. There we go. And come over to Canva, and I'm going to have to, I always end up having so many things open with Canva, but we're going to find it. So that's number 4, module 4. So it's this one here. So page 3 that I want to download. There we are. So mod 1, mod 2, mod 3, I'm going to do back over on the left-hand side. Lights, camera, action. Copy that. Add in a section. So image. And going back into Canva, I'm going to find the image for this one. So it's the hands. There we go. So page 6 that I want to download. Done. Download. And then we're going to go add another section, another image. So as you can see, this gets a little bit repetitive. Here we go. Luckily, I only have 4 modules here. There we go. So mod 4, let's get nerdy. And I honestly don't think anyone else would name a module systems or sexy. So this is definitely my course. All right. So that is how that looks. I might actually go through and change all of the backgrounds into the powder pink and see how that looks. And again, just a reminder, Brandy is not a designer, so please speak to a designer when you're designing your webpage. So for this section here, we're going to need to do a image section again, so we can center the text. So adding in. We go, and then do this. Go, and then I'm going to go over to design, center, and this is the rose color in the background. So let's grab our rose color and do the background. There we go. There we go. And then closing that, it just gives you kind of a bigger view of how this is all going to look. And I think it looks pretty nice so far. And then we finally say like, okay, so up at the top, as you guys can see, we are kind of saying like, this is your problem. Like we're kind of poking at the people's pain points. We're talking about their pain points. Like you think that you need to do all these things, but you really don't. And then we're saying like, introducing this is the solution to your problem and talking about our solution. Okay, so now we're going to add in this area. So enroll now for only $397 or 9 payments of $49. Okay, so I could put these all as a heading and I'll see how that looks. So again, image section. Put that in and then get rid of the text and we'll see how this looks compared to having it separate. And then we're going to have design, center it. Oh, that looks, we're going to see how this looks. We might have to change it. And I'm very conscious of the language I use because I know most of my people who want to be on YouTube to run their business, they don't want to be a YouTuber. So I'm very conscious not to say like, hey, you can become a YouTuber in my language, because that's really not what they want. They want to use YouTube as a traffic source to get traffic over to their website so that they can buy their products. And so that's where I'm using this language here. Okay, I'm going to close this just to see how it looks. That looks pretty good. The other way I can do this is I could separate it onto 2 lines. So I'm going to see if that makes it any different. I'm gonna cut that and put it down there. I think I'm going to leave it like this, and the reason is because I think on mobile, I think this is probably going to look better. The other thing I'm going to do is I might make this a little bit more bold. So I could change this to that wine color that we have. Custom. Okay, so it already changed it for me. That's handy. But I might just change the background into white. There we go. All right, so I'm going to use the bio section for this. And so I'm going to go into Podia. I'm going to add a section and I'm going to choose bio. There's a lot of options in here, what I can choose to add and what I can choose to leave out, obviously. And so I can choose my image. And so from Canva, I'm gonna have to go find it again. I think it might be in here. Go. So to do this, if you're not familiar with Canva, I'm just going to grab one of my uploads. And so I've uploaded an image from my computer onto Canva. And so these are all my tutu pictures. And so I could just like upload something here. If I drag it in, it just kind of takes up the whole screen. Okay. And then I could download it, just download page 3 as a PNG file. I'm going to use this one, page 2. And I'll change the design in just a minute, but I'm gonna put as the headline, hey there, I'm Brandy. Grab all of this. So right now that's what the bio looks like. I'm actually going to get rid of my social links. So I'm going to see what other design options it gives me. And so I could choose like that. And I'm gonna just close this to see what it looks like. I could also make it on the other side. I could make it the top like it was before, or it could be like that. So it does have some more options than just like the plain image one. And so I might choose that one there. And I'm going to choose for the design, I'm going to choose that background to go with my cherry blossoms and tutu picture here. So the last thing we're going to want to do on our sales page for the content is we want to add one last button encouraging people to buy. And so we're going to put image just so it's centered, design, center, there we go. And then content. So get rid of the heading, get rid of the text and add in the button text, whatever you want it to say, and grab your URL. And there we go. I'm going to go over to design and choose that. So it looks the same as my bio section. Okay, perfect. So the other two sections that you might want to add in that I have not done on this sales page is your testimonials and your FAQs. And so for testimonials and FAQs, these are very straightforward. So for a testimonial, you can say like either testimonials or you can say what they're saying, for example. And then for the actual testimonials, what you're going to do is you're going to come down to this area here and you're going to click on the first one and you're going to change the name to whoever actually gave you the testimonial. You are going to put in what they say, obviously. So like, this is the best course ever, whatever your customers are saying about it. If you do have a photo of your students who have gone through this before, you can add a photo of them as well. And photos are really, really great for testimonials. So for example, there we go. I just put in a photo of myself. And obviously this is a fake testimonial. Do not put in fake testimonials on your website. Okay, so I'm gonna add one more just to show you guys how this looks. So Andy Draper, and let's just say he said this, and we're going to choose an image again. I'm going to put in a random image. There we go. Just to give you the idea of what this looks like. And you can also put testimonial sections throughout. So you might want to put one up at the top here before what it's included, and then one down further so you can kind of sprinkle your testimonials throughout your website. That would be nice. And then the other section that is very common is the FAQ section. And this is laid out really nicely. So basically you just put in your question. So question. All right, so my most frequently asked question is, do you need fancy equipment to start a YouTube channel? So I would say like, put down your credit card and step away from the Amazon app. Like you can start a YouTube channel with just what you have at your house kind of thing. And then, so that would be my first FAQ, and you can add as many as you want. There you go. And you just click in and change them. Again, if you want a different color for this background, it just changes it very nicely and easily for you. Or you can customize everything if you would like to. Again, whatever you put in here for sections, at the very, very bottom, you're going to want a button at the bottom for them to purchase your course, of course. And then when you're all done here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete this table of contents because I think we're all done our sales page. Okay. The last thing is our footer, and you can actually edit the footer as well. This is a new update to Podia. And so you can click on this edit button and it will bring the content over here. So if I wanted to, I could put my logo in here. On my website, I actually have Entrepreneurs Unite, so I'm going to put that in. Here we go. I am going to make this section dark to make it consistent with my website here. And then we've got Podia's terms and privacy. If you have your own terms and conditions and disclaimer, which you should have for a course, you can add those in at your Podia sales page as well. So I'm just going to grab these links and add them in. So go over to content. I'm going to put new link and see how this looks showing up. Just going to put privacy policy, and I have to grab the link here. Here we go. And I'm going to add a new link for my disclaimer. And I'm going to add a link for my terms. I'm going to put Brandy Rose Inc. in there just so that they know this is my company. If you want to, you can just put in your social media and the icons just come up. So I'll do that as an example here. Here we go, and I'll put my Instagram. And of course, since this is a YouTube course, I should probably put my YouTube channel. So close out of that. So that is what it looks like. So I'm going to delete these two things, my testimonials and the FAQs, because they don't need to be on there. Those are made up. There we go. And so let's go up to the top and just do a scroll through and see how that looks. Oh, so this is popped up now. Okay, so it just takes a long time apparently. And for an actual sales page, I would actually do a video. I just have not done one for the sales page, so I'm using one of my YouTube videos as a placeholder. Okay, so that is in there. This looks good. Good. All right, so I think that looks awesome. I'm going to go publish. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go and just double check on this in an incognito window. Here we go. Just go take a look. Oh, not buy. This is what happens when you put the buy in there. Okay, so this is what it's going to look like. Perfect. The other thing you want to check when you're going through is you want to go through and make sure all your buttons work. So if I click on this, I want the checkout form to pop up. So for example, there we go. Perfect. Check. And I'm going to go through and I'm going to check every single one of my buttons to make sure it works. There we go. The annoying thing about this is it's putting me up to the top of it, but that's okay. It's still working. And yes. Okay, perfect. So they all work. That's great. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go and I'm going to check this on my phone and see how it looks. All right, so that looks good on mobile as well. I'm pretty happy with that. And so now I'm just going to close out of this because I'm pretty darn happy. And so that has been published. You guys can go look at this if you want to. The last thing you're probably going to want to do is update your homepage, because you're going to want to link your homepage to the sales page if you want people buying your course. And the reason we want to update our homepage is even if you directly send somebody to your sales page, if they click on your logo here, it will take them to your main homepage on Podia. And so as you can see, I was just like messing around here. And so it looks like a mess. So I'm going to go through and update my homepage really quickly, just so that it doesn't look quite so frantic. All right, so I'm going to go over to homepage and we will update this. All right, so I'm going to get rid of this random text section that I've got here. This is all the products, which I'm going to actually get rid of as well. Delete this. And I'm going to delete the product section as well. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to add in, instead of adding in a product list, I'm going to add in an image. So learn more about Brandy's YouTube course. And then I'm going to put an image of the YouTube Made Simple from Canva. So this one here. So I'm going to download it. Perfect. And then I'll probably put the background to the nice rose color that I've got going on at my site. And then obviously I need a button here, or else this is not going to take them anywhere. And so I'm going to go into content and button text. And then my link is going to be the link to my YouTube course sales page. So I'm going to put it thebrandydoodads.podia.com/YouTube Made Simple without the buy section. If I also wanted to put in a link to my sales page for my course creation course, I could put in another section again with an image, just saying like learn course creation, and then link to my course creation sales page. All right, I'd probably say something different, but just for the sake of this video, I'm going to say create your first course. Brandy's a college instructor and online entrepreneur. Let's get your first course launched. And then for the design, let's go over to Canva and see if I have an image like that for my course creation. All right, so I'm going to use this for now. Again, I will probably change this later, but it'll do for a placeholder. And now if I go over to, let's go to view the site, I can click through these at least. So I can go and check out the YouTube course. There we go. And then if I go back, I can click on this one and I can go to learn about the course creation course. Okay, so that is it. That is your Podia sales page too. All right, if you've gone through this tutorial and set up your sales page with me as you followed along with my video, drop a link in the comments so I can see it and cheer you on.